INEC's continuous voter registration is still on. If you haven't registered, this is your chance. Coming up this hour, Governor Fubara seeks road safety's collaboration in reducing car theft. U.S. military reportedly begins plan for airstrikes in Nigeria, targets visa bans over alleged Christian genocide. Rivers flood. Muslim groups and Christian groups at variance over U.S. President's genocide statement in Nigeria. Rivers Flood Committee begins distribution of relief materials, redeems pledge to families of victims. On the foreign scene, Typhoon Kalmegi leaves nearly 200 dead in the Philippines, moves towards Cambodia and Laos. I'm Ifechukwu Muonyili with the news. Now, Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has pledged his administration's collaboration with the Federal Road Safety Corps to tackle car theft and enhance road safety across the state. The governor made the announcement on Thursday while hosting FRSC Corps Marshal Shehu Mohammed at Government House, Port Harcourt. Governor Fubara also assured that the consensus raised by the Corps, including the need for accommodations and vehicles for personnel, will be addressed.
We're trying to work on something to help in terms of security, to reduce the issue of car theft. So there is something we're working on with Ministry of Transport, so we can form a kind of synergy to have a track of the vehicles in the state, vehicles that are doing business in the state, so that if cases of car theft occur, they can easily work with the road safety and also have a track of those things.
Well, earlier, the secretary to the River State government, Dr. Benibo Anabraba, representing the governor, flagged off the Ember Months road safety campaign organized by FRSC. Dr. Anabraba emphasized that keeping roads safe is a responsibility of all motorists and that road safety is not limited to the Ember Months, but must be observed throughout the year. The SSG also highlighted the state government's commitment to providing critical infrastructure across all sectors. In his address, Corps Marshal Shehu Mohammed explained that River State was chosen to flag off this year's campaign because it serves as one of the country's busiest transportation hubs. Mohammed noted that from January to September 2025, the state recorded 47 road crashes, resulting in 15 deaths and 51 injuries. While tragic, these figures represent a 35.7% decrease in fatalities and a 37.5% drop in road crash-related injuries compared to the same period in 2024. While reacting to this, some Port Harcourt residents have praised the Corps for their ongoing efforts to improve road safety. Speaking to a correspondent, they, however, stressed that more needs to be done, especially in tackling cases of officials extorting money from motorists. The residents also advised drivers to exercise caution by conducting necessary safety checks before getting on the road this Ember Month, warning of the expected increase in traffic congestion during the season.
I commend federal road safety because, as you can see, all that is accident here and here. But since this is not too much of an accident, especially on the federal road, they should do more to work effectively to make sure that we continue reducing accident on the road.
I've noticed that thing has reduced so much. You understand, unlike before, this East-West road na no-go area. We'll be hearing how a car breaks somebody's leg, a car kills somebody there, this one. But this time around, it's not like that again. I tell you that, in fact, they are doing perfectly well.
Some of these times I can see that they advise people, some of them talk on radios to advise people, educate people on that. So I commend them for that, but they should still do more. In terms of starting money from people, I think that should stop.
They should do more, not only when they start on the road. Instead of them to do their work, they'll be extorting money from the drivers.
And now the Presidential Committee has swung into action to tackle insecurity, beginning with a visit to the Nigeria Police Training School in Noantai, River State. The committee, chaired by Enugu State Governor Peter Amba and joined by the Rivers Governor Siminalayi Fubara and Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun, is assessing police and security training schools nationwide. Speaking to journalists after the visit, Governor Fubara said the visit shows President Tinubu's commitment to restoring professionalism in the police and addressing insecurity.
The President has come out to make a bold statement that he wants police officers that will be trained, that will
added that the recruitment of 30,000 new police officers cannot start without fully functional training institutions, emphasizing the urgent need for comprehensive reforms.
The president recognized that we are at a security crossroad, and nothing short of complete and urgent overhaul is required to ensure that we secure our future. You may already know that there has been an approval by Mr. President to recruit 30,000 new personnel for the police. There is no way that recruitment would happen if we do not have a training ground for these men and women.
And now turning to national affairs. The government is responding to recent threat from the United States over security challenges in the country. President Bola Tinubu has assured Nigerians that his government is engaging the international community diplomatically following threat of possible military action by the U.S. President Donald Trump. Speaking at the Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja on Thursday, Tinubu urged citizens not to panic, adding that his administration remains committed to defeating terrorism and protecting every part of the country. He also highlighted that the economy is stable, pointing out that the recent $2.3 billion Euro bond was oversubscribed, reflecting continued international confidence. Meanwhile, Information Minister Mohammed Idris told reporters at the State House that the government remains calm and will not react hastily to Trump's threat. Idris, who spoke shortly after the council meeting, explained that diplomatic channels with Washington are already open and Nigeria is seeking a peaceful resolution rather than escalating tensions. He emphasized that the Tinubu administration is addressing security challenges responsibly, protecting citizens' rights regardless of religion, and remains committed to fighting terrorism and extremist violence while maintaining openness to international partnerships. And just while the president was given the assurance, the U.S. military is preparing possible airstrike options in Nigeria following President Trump's directive to prepare to intervene to protect Christians from terrorist attacks. This is contained in a New York Times recent report. Officials say the U.S. Africa Command has submitted 3 levels of military action, heavy, medium, and light, to the Department of Defense. Reactions to Trump's statement have been swift and varied, highlighting deep divisions in perspective across Nigeria. In the north, the Northern Elders Forum and the coalition of northern groups condemned the U.S. threat. A spokesperson for the Northern Elders Forum, Dr. Hakeem Baba Ahmed Jidere, in an interview on Thursday, described the threat as an empty and personal statement that ignored U.S. legal procedures. Jidere insists there is no genocide in northern Nigeria and that both Christians and Muslims face similar security challenges. Similarly, the chairman of Mieti Allah in River State, Muhammad Tukur Abubakar, agrees Christian and Muslims in Nigeria are living in unity. Abubakar tells correspondent Martha Okere that the Nigerian government should not allow Trump to carry out his threat, saying the U.S. wants to use it to achieve something.
Muslim and Christian were the same mother, the same father in Nigeria. We will not allow taking Donald Trump has said, say a Muslim, they kill Christian, is wrong because they need to achieve something for our country. Let them not allow this man to enter our country. If this man enter our country, that is why we don't finish. Anytime we see they organize our people to be Muslim and Christian united. Yet Allah nothing confine them to quarrel with anybody, to fight with anybody, to get rivalité with anybody.
Meanwhile, Christian groups are also reacting to Trump's statement. The Nigerian Evangelical Fellowship dismissed Trump's claims of a Christian genocide, saying these killings are driven more by terrorism and poor governance rather than religion. They called on the federal government to disarm terrorists, end ongoing killings, and protect religious freedom nationwide. In contrast, another Christian group, Southern Kaduna Christian Leaders Association, described Trump's designation of Nigeria as a country of concern as a long overdue acknowledgement of the plight of Christians in the north. Chairman of the group, Apostle Emmanuel Kure, urged the government to establish an independent panel to investigate targeted attacks in Benue, Plateau, and Southern Kaduna, calling the U.S. action a divine correction aimed at ensuring accountability. And now China has reaffirmed its support for Nigeria in combating terrorism and maintaining internal stability. Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Yoon Dong-hai, made a post on X after a meeting with National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu on Thursday, saying that China backs Nigeria's development path. He opposes foreign interference under the pretext of religion or human rights, and he says that China remains ready to assist in strengthening domestic security. Still talking about Nigeria's security issues, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Waidi Shaibu, says troops will sustain offensive operations until insurgents are denied all support and hideout. Shaibu made the statement on Friday. Shaibu made a statement yesterday during his first tour of Operation Hadin Kai in the northeast, as contained in a statement by Army spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Apollonia Anele. Shaibu told troops to intensify the fight and assure that the army under his command will pursue the mission with renewed energy and full commitment. The army chief also visited the Shehu of Boronu, commissioned new accommodation at Malari cantonment, and met wounded soldiers at the 7th Division Hospital. He said the visit followed President Tinubu's directive to consolidate gains in counterterrorism, signaling renewed momentum to end terrorism and restore peace in the northeast. Now let's have a short break. When we return, Rivers Flood Committee begin distribution of relief items. Do stay with us.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
You're welcome back. Now, the River State Flood Prevention and Management Committee has begun distributing relief materials to flood-affected areas, starting with the Orashi region. At the flag-off in Port Harcourt on Thursday, Deputy Governor and Committee Chair, Professor Ngozi Odo said Ahoda East, Ahoda West, and Oba Ebe Mandoni local government areas each received 2 trucks loaded with food and non-food items, including rice, noodles, curry, beans, palm oil, mattresses, pillows, and cooking utensils. She added that monitoring teams will oversee distribution. 3 million naira promised to flood victims' families has been paid, and IDP camps to health matters. The chairperson Medical and Health Workers Union, Babakaye James Glory, has demanded that primary healthcare workers should be moved to a centralized payroll system, placing the state government in charge of paying all health workers. Glory said this on Nigeria Info FM's Morning Crossfire.
For the fact that they have failed in taking up their responsibility, they should move the primary health workers to a central payroll system where the state definitely will be in charge of paying the general health workers. Once issues are being raised, it will be treated evenly, and not saying, okay, we are waiting for local governments to consider, we'll keep begging and all that. It's not fair.
Still speaking on the morning crossfire, a member of the union's executive council, Joseph Ifechukwu, accused local government officials in charge of the primary healthcare system of being unfair to the sector, alleging that they have formed cabals and manipulated the system for their own interests.
For the fact that they have failed in
the local government system is just like there are cabals running the system, whereby even when state government is giving instruction, they will do what they want to do and no punishment. Because the reason why we are able to do the harmonization is because of the fear of the social administrator, because he's a soldier. They actually delay the payment so that the administrator will leave. When governor comes, when he has to say, governor, we are with you, we will support you, we will do this now, so that now do it to use to do political bargaining. That is what we are suffering today.
Now, they said the primary health care workers in the state will withdraw their services by Sunday night if the government fails to pay all outstanding arrears owed to them. Still on health, the president of the Association of Resident Doctors at the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital, Dr. Jack Charles, says the ongoing strike by resident doctors goes beyond financial issues owed by the federal government. Speaking in an interview with correspondent Martha Okere, Dr. Charles explained that the association is advocating against the casualization of health workers, which leaves them without certain benefit, as well as for improved security around hospital premises and the employment of more doctors. According to him, some doctors work more than 72 hours, with some performing back-to-back surgeries. Dr. Charles warned that such schedules increase the risk of mistakes, as doctors do not have adequate time to rest.
They're not simple adjustments. They employ doctors on local business. They are not privy to certain benefits that accrue to civil servants. For example, the National Housing Fund, the pension scheme, the medical residency training. Then the doctors are casualized for 5 years, 6 years. We're not even talking about doctors. Health workers as a whole. So even as long as 10 years, no street around the office. We're not asking for experience. We have to employ these doctors. We have doctors who work for long hours, more than 10 hours. With 43 hours, we are doing different services. We can't be working like that. We are prone to when you work for long hours.
Dr. Charles apologized to state residents for any inconvenience the strike may have caused, adding that their actions aims to stabilize the health sector, improve standards, and ensure adequate numbers of qualified doctors are available to meet patients' needs. Now, let's talk education. The chairperson of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, Ignatius Ajuri University of Education Chapter, Professor Ekaite Ebo, has emphasized the importance of artificial intelligence to national development. Speaking at the university's 3-day maiden conference for 2025 themed Artificial Intelligence and National Development in 21st Century Nigeria, Professor Ebo says AI has become one of the most powerful tools transforming sectors such as education, healthcare, finance, and agriculture.
AI is reshaping how societies function and how economics grow. For Nigeria, AI represents both a challenge and opportunity. The challenge lies in ensuring that we are not left behind in this digital revolution. The opportunity lies in using AI as a tool to accelerate sustainable development, improve governance, and empower our people. Our universities have a critical role to play in this transformation.
Also speaking at the event, the acting vice chancellor of the university, Professor Ifechukwu Onuchukwu, represented by Professor Kingdom Oji, praised ASU for its continued role as the voice of academic excellence and intellectual integrity.
We once again thank ASU for calling our scholars come together to brainstorm on issues of national development. Those are coming here as students and recruited people, students on my side. Please take AI seriously. That's the way to go. When you prove your skill, ICT, and of course you can go to the library in Harvard, Australia, Japan, and you get the material. That is the work of AI. And of course, you know, looking at the MDGs, that's good for lifelong learning, online learning, so we increase our capacity for national development.
And now in business, the president of the Nigerian Association of Petroleum Explorationists, John Bosco Uche has warned that Nigeria's oil production could decline in the coming years if the country does not urgently intensify new exploration efforts and discoveries. Speaking ahead of the NABE's 43rd annual conference scheduled for November 9th to 13, 2025 in Lagos, he said renewed investment, modern technology, and stronger policy alignment are critical for long-term energy security, which he added that without urgent action to expand exploration and accelerate gas development, Nigeria risks falling short of its target of 3 million barrels of oil and 12 billion cubic feet of gas per day by 2030. In entertainment, Nollywood actress Regina Daniels has sparked public concern after posting an emotional video on Instagram early Friday saying she was mentally and emotionally exhausted and declaring that she finally gives up on her fight. Now, she explained that her parents, who recently reconciled, are in Abuja trying to secure the release of her brother, Sammy, who has been detained for days. Regina also hinted at returning to her husband after weeks of family tension and past allegations of domestic violence, which her husband, Ned Nwoko, previously denied.
I feel like I'm going crazy, I'm losing my mind, and it's not making any sense. I'm finally crying in front of everybody. But please, what am I even begging for? I don't know. Do you guys think it's easy? Every time I'm waking up, I'm saying one thing. Oh, my brother online. Today I hear good news. Oh, it's about to be free. Tomorrow I hear another thing. Like, what's the problem? But I've tried. I'll go back. I'll go back.
We go on another short commercial break. When we come back, we'll wrap up the news.
My people, when I don't hear am, Adria Nations don't carry better land come again.
Na true talk be that this time na for Rupoku Estate of Milk and Honey, just near Salvation Ministries headquarters, within camp and see for eye.
You know the 50 million again, it don't drop like Otakara. Now just 8 million naira.
Jay, and you fit drop only 1 million naira deposit, pay the rest small for 6 months. From Adria Nation, land way sweet like honey.
If we pop far from you, no worry, no wahala. Then get land for Igorita for only 1.5 million naira.
Or check element and hot cake, 1 million naira per plot.
And for Isoko or Magwa, after we go University, 500k per plot dey there.
Better land no dey last if you want join body, call the number wey be 0704 4655 227 0704 4655 227. I go talk am again, make it for stick for your head kakaraka na 0704 4655 227.
Inspection the day from Monday to Saturday from 12 o'clock to 5 p.m. Just carry your pass.
On the international scene, Typhoon Kalmayagi continues its deadly path across Southeast Asia, now moving towards Cambodia and Laos after battering Vietnam with winds of up to 149 kilometers per hour. At least 188 people have been confirmed dead in the Philippines and 5 in Vietnam, with entire neighborhoods swept away by mudslides and flash floods. More than 130 people are still missing in the Philippines, where a nationwide state of emergency has been declared, while Vietnam has deployed hundreds of thousands of soldiers for rescue and relief efforts. Authorities warn that more flooding is possible after a week of record rainfall. On the news this afternoon, you heard River State Governor Similai Fubara says the state will collaborate with the FRSC to reduce car theft. You also heard the U.S. military has reportedly commenced plans for airstrikes in Nigeria. And then Northern groups and Christian groups remain at variance over U.S. President's genocide statement in Nigeria. On the Rivers Flood Committee said it has started distributing relief materials and has redeemed the pledge made to families of flood victims. On the foreign scene, Typhoon Kalmayagi has left nearly 200 dead in the Philippines as it moves towards Cambodia and Laos. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Muonyili. Many thanks for listening.